We're heading to the place they grow the corn.
Kansas.
Kansas.
The corn is as high. Oh, no, wait, that's Oklahoma.
That's an elephant's eye.
That is true. But I tell you what, all soy.
Soy? No, soy they grow.
Ah!
Welcome back into the Rowdy Studio. I'm Stephen Levine. This is Tom Vandevort. We're heading to the Midwest, the place they grow the corn, Kansas.
Yes, we are heading to Kansas, and all signs point to Jimmy.
You think?
I kind of think they do, although they also point to Brad and Denny.
Here's why I will give you a little Jimmy love. Because with the
7 straight top 10s, 5 top 5s,
I'm giving you the love. You're not telling me what I'm giving you love about. Because with the Kansas repave and the need to sort of adapt to the new track surface and the new conditions, that I think plays into Chad Knaus's hands.
And it helps when you start with a good set of notes anyway. I know the track's going to be very different, but still.
But if you look at the past 3 race winners at Kansas, in descending order, Denny Hamlin.
You mean from most recent to latest?
Correct. Denny Hamlin, Jimmy Johnson, Brad Keselowski.
Now, we need to acknowledge that Keselowski did have a little fuel mileage situation there, which didn't work out for him at Charlotte. But one thing we've seen from Keselowski and the 2 team, they're on their game. They're fast on these downforce tracks. We saw that from them at Charlotte. We saw it from Denny Hamlin at Charlotte. We saw it from Jimmy Johnson at Charlotte. So if you're going to the downforce track at Kansas, and by the way, in our last 5 races, 3 downforce tracks, that's 60%. So I think these guys, having already separated themselves from the field a little bit, are going to a place where they can do so to an even greater extent. I will say this. I do feel there is a big points movement moment going to happen somewhere in the second half of this chase amongst these 3 gentlemen. I don't know what it's going to be.
But 2 years ago, right, you had Kevin Harvick, Jimmy Johnson, Denny Hamlin. You didn't have that big points movement until really the second to last race of the year.
I agree. I just feel like it's that the wreck or the tire, losing a tire or whatever, that's out there still.
It is out there.
You know?
I can see it just beyond the horizon.
Right.
Now, I hear a lot of you out there. You call me. You send me messages. You say, hey, Stephen, what about Clint Bowyer? This is his home track. Won't he be jazzed? Won't he be energized after his win at Charlotte, going back to his home track? And yes, he might well be. But remember, his win at Charlotte, which was a fuel mileage win, was his first win ever on a downforce track, on an intermediate 1.5 mile track. He is not a consistently strong performer on this type of track, and that's why I really don't think, even though he's still in it points-wise, I really don't think he's in it.
Look, I love Clint Bowyer's talent.
Nobody loves Clint Bowyer more than you.
Nobody loves Clint Bowyer's talent more than I do. I just don't think he's got the equipment to run with these other guys in the last 5 races. I think it's going to take, like 2 more fuel mileage wins, and I don't see it happening. Could he come out of this race with a good result? Yes, I think he could. If you look at 5 races, though, it's hard for me to see him competing with Denny and Brad and Jimmy. I think they've clearly shown they're the best. They're the best teams right now in this chase. A guy I could see making a move similar to what Clint made last week is Greg Biffle. He could come out, win this race, make a move in the points, but again, it's hard for me to see him, even if they figured something out on the downforce tracks, you still got Phoenix and you still got Martinsville out there. It's just hard for me to see him making up these points and then also competing at these other racetracks and being as consistent as those other guys on the other downforce tracks, even if they have a good weekend, both Biffle and Bowyer. And now I would include Casey Kane in that group too and Jeff Gordon in that group too. I think it's a 3-man race.
I agree with you. I think Greg Biffle is a good pick for this race. He's won here twice. He performed well at Charlotte. Maybe Roush Fenway has their stuff together once again on downforce tracks.
Or they've made a step in that direction.
So I wouldn't look askance at you picking Greg Biffle to win this race, but there is no way he is going to get back in the championship hunt. Remember, Tony Stewart was something like 24 points out at this point last year, and he had to win 27 races in order to make up that deficit and grab the championship.
27 races?
Something like that. Clint Bowyer is further out than that, and he is not going to put together...
You also have to look at how many guys you have to pass.
But Clint Bowyer is not going to put together the kind of string that Tony Stewart put together last year. So clearly
he's really not.
It's a 3-man race.
And again, Tony Stewart had to get by Carl Edwards, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to look at it that way, too.
And this is also Carl Edwards' home track, just saying.
Oh, yeah, that is true. Interesting.
All right, who are you going to pick? You going to pick somebody?
I gotta say, I think all signs point to Jimmy Johnson. The fact that he hasn't won in this chase still means to me that he's gonna win, one of these races. I think this could be it.
All right. I mean, I think it's a toss-up, man. You could go with Keselowski, Hamlin, or even Biffle, and you'd be strong. I'm gonna go with Hamlin.
Okay.
Give Denny Hamlin a little love.
Well, he did win here earlier this year.
That's right. He's gonna sweep.
Okay.
For Tom, I'm Steven. Thanks for watching.